That's amazing. The dogs. Is that even a real story? That's a fact. This is complete nonsense, Greg. Read a book. I guess you are kind of artistic. Incredible. What are you even talking about, man? Go for broke. I don't even know what that means. Let's get it going.
Let's get her going. Keep her going, baby.
Greg, you know what, man? I'm going to start off the episode by saying we effed up.
Big time, baby.
Well, don't say it like it's a good thing.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm sure if you listened to episode 4, we got a brand new soundboard, and I think we fucked up the volume a little bit.
Yeah, not so good last episode. Apologize if this one's terrible. Well, too bad.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We don't know what we're doing.
We
need a nerd. Tech nerd.
Yeah, we need to get a tech nerd. Wagner's just the accounting nerd. C average. But hopefully it sounds a lot better this time. We got this new board. We've been fucking around with the audio a lot. So ideally it sounds pretty good this time. But
yep. And clearly we have swearing Scott in the house because he's going to say the F word about every sentence. So here we go.
All right. Well, I'm going to try to reduce my use of the F-bomb. How's that sound?
Please.
All right, I'll try. It's like the most...
My mother listens to this.
So. Oh, gee. Well, hopefully, well, I mean, the F word is like the most versatile word in the English language. You can use it wherever you want.
Yeah, there's a lot of words I'd like to be able to say on a daily basis, but I try to control myself.
All right, so I'll stop trying to say the F-bomb as many times as I have been. So apologize for that. We're moving forward. We're not looking to the past. All we do is think forward. New year. So yeah, how you been, man? Well, Greg and I have both been a little bit sick. So also if we sound nasally, that's not the audio. That's just how we sound right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Scott and I historically get sick at the same time every single time. Don't know why, but it happens. So we both got cured today and decided, hey, let's go back to the studio.
Yeah, we got to stop making out, dude. I think that's probably the issue.
Oh, you think that's it?
You're like, hey, Scott, I don't feel good. I'm like, let me suck it out, bud.
So it's not like a snake bite.
No, it is. That's how we try to fix it. But it doesn't actually work like that,
okay.
Obviously.
We're not making any sense right now. All right, let's get into this. Come on.
All right. So I wanted to start off by saying one thing that I've never mentioned yet on a podcast. My one dog, Utley. You know, the one that's the least athletic dog is any other dog I've ever seen. He, when we took him to the vet when he was a puppy, the vet literally said he has very, very weak ab muscles. And we're like, oh. And then you look at him when he sits and he's just got a fully arched back, like can barely support his lower legs. Yeah, it looks like he's falling down. If you sit him down on a hardwood floor, he just slides around because his ab muscles can't hold him up. But I remembered that because I was taking some pictures recently, and every single picture he looks like he's a hunchback. He's just sitting there, and I'm like, why can't you sit normal, man? And I'm like, oh yeah, you have no ab muscles.
I mean, he's not far off from your average human sitting in a chair all hunched over, so...
That's very true, very true.
I'm just going to call him average.
He's the epitome of the human race slouching all over.
Yeah.
But another story about Utley. We went for a walk the other day, and this was while I was sick, but I was trying to get some fresh air. We just decided to take the dogs for a walk. We were walking Utley and Leah up through the woods a little bit at this spot by our house, and Utley, like the savage he is, he's usually trying to just eat up all of the deer poop and goose poop that he can find in the snow. Yeah, little snacks here and there.
Oh, little baby snack.
But he went to bite something, and he just started crying like crazy. And we're like, holy shit, what happened? And I thought he ate something and it got stuck in his gums maybe or something like that. I looked at him. He was fine. Kept walking along all normal. He seemed like he was fine. It might have just been some little prick. And then we get halfway home, and I look at him, and he's got blood all over his face. Like, the side of his face, he looked like Two-Face from Batman, but one side was just blood.
Ooh.
Yeah. And Leah, my fiance, is just like, oh my God, we have to get home. So we start running back to the house. It's probably only like a half mile away, but
getting his heart rate up, bleeding more. Real smart move.
Spurting everywhere, but
don't remain calm at all.
Yeah, but being who she is, she just had like a full-blown panic attack.
Yep.
And she's a nurse, so I gotta hope that she doesn't panic like that inside of the on the cardiac floor. Yeah. But we get back to the house, and he's fine. Like, he's not hurting anymore. Covered in blood, though. I'll put some pictures up. But I look, and he's got this little thorn, probably like a half-inch thorn that just got wedged into his ear.
Ooh!
Yeah, so he's just got this, like, blood gushing out of his ear, and when he's running, his ear's flapping on the side of his face, just dousing his face with blood. And I get home, and I just pull that thing out, and he's totally fine. But Leah's, like, got the washcloth out, rubbing his face down, trying to get all the blood off. It was just an absolute debacle.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I know what you mean.
So that's all that I did the past 2 days besides laying on the couch.
It's the worst when your dog gets hurt and just trying to, like, chase whatever, like, the wound is or whatever you're trying to clean up. And it's just, like, circling you, like, thinks it's a game, trying to get away. You're like, come here. Like, you need to just calm down and sit. And they just keep running away from it. It's not fun.
No bueno. No bueno. Funny story, though. Greg mentioned that his dog ate a diaper a few episodes ago. Leah, my dog, she has eaten her fair share of socks, like stinky gym socks.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
And the crotches of women's underwear. And I think I mentioned that before, but she used to try to poop, and she'd be out there squatting for, 10, 15 minutes, and I'd look out and be like, what is she doing? And then there'd be a sock halfway out of her butt, and I'd have to go pull it out with my hands. So... Luckily, I've been outside. I haven't been inside when that's happened. But, yeah, I know what you mean.
I've got a pro tip for you here, Scott.
Okay. Use your mouth. Use your teeth. Sorry, keep going. I'm just kidding.
Jesus. Savage. So do you carry around poop bags with you?
Yeah,
Stick your hand in a poop bag and then pull it out. All
right, I'll do that.
Instead of just using your bare hand, you animal.
Yep. Okay. Didn't even think about using a poop bag.
This has been done through experience.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Having cats.
I'm sure.
Now, Oliver he's like golden retriever with just a ton of fur, so there's just fur balls in every corner of our house all the time. And Oliver just loves to gobble them up, so his poop is constantly getting just strung out there by a little hairball. And yeah. Just
all right.
Slip the hand in an extra poop bag, and whoop.
Whoop, whoop. All right, nice. So yeah, anything new for the past week besides just like dying on the couch?
No.
Not much?
No, nothing new, nothing exciting. Just both of us have been dead. Girlfriend recovered, as you've heard from last weekend, and I immediately got sick, so we've postponed my birthday 2 weeks now. We are closer to my girlfriend's birthday than we are
celebrated
my
at the same
past
time.
birthday. So yeah,
celebrated at the same time.
St. Patrick's Day. So
Santa Patrick's Day. All right.
That was not Irish.
Yes, you know what? I'm sick. I'm nasally. I couldn't do the... all right, so while I was sick, I did watch a pretty interesting documentary. I have a couple notes that I took on my phone because it was absolutely wild. I mean, it was one of those documentaries that you kind of think back. We weren't alive yet. It was in the 70s, the late 70s, but you're like, how could this possibly happen? You're just like, this is absolutely wild. Okay? So the documentary is called Studio 54, and I'll try not to give away all the details, but there's these two guys. One of them was a lawyer, kind of an introvert. The other one was an extrovert. You find out later that he's gay. I'm not giving anything away there, but he's super extrovert. They decided that they wanted to start opening up like the biggest, dopest nightclub down in Manhattan. And it was in like the late 70s, so... they started out and they couldn't get they got the club up and going super, super quick, but they couldn't get a liquor license fast enough. So they do a 1-day catering license for like a year straight. So every single day they do a 1-day catering license to serve alcohol, and it would cost them what, like $50?
I don't know. It sounds super inefficient to me, but
but it's easier than paying for a liquor license
Sure.
and doing that and going through those hoops. But they got that going, and every single time they would let people in, they would like have different regulations on you can't be wearing that shit, you can't be wearing that, blah blah blah. Eventually, it ended up being like the hottest place you can go in Manhattan.
Yeah, Studio 54.
Yeah, okay, you're familiar with this?
Yes, I am.
I mean, I know now that I think back, I'm like every single like club movie ever made is probably based on this club to some degree.
I'm pretty sure you and I both watched the Studio 54 movie together like 3 years ago.
Didn't even know it was a thing. But who knows what we were doing 3 years ago. So basically tons of like drag queens, tons of gays, tons of movie stars. It was like a place where everybody could go and feel comfortable. But it was like a wild ass place. So the one thing that I really thought was absolutely just insane was the amount of quaaludes that were just floating around. they put this gigantic in the background of the club, like the big backdrop. There was this one scene where it was an LED light scheme of a guy's nose, and then it was a spoon full of powdered drugs just going like a crane moving it into the nose, and as that happened, the lights would just go up the dude's nose. It was just like influencing them to do all the drugs possible. They eventually added like a ton of just straight rubber seating and rubber beds up on the VIP floors, so you could just hose them down, because it was pre-AIDS at the time. But what they knew of, they didn't really know what AIDS was, so they were just fucking everything.
Ew.
Just fucking. Yeah, so they just sprayed on the furniture.
That's disgusting.
But moral of the story was, I don't want to give away the ending, but it was just fucking wild. I mean, these guys did whatever they wanted. It was insane. They were making a fuck ton of money. I won't give it.
Those are our parents. How our generation is even still here is beyond my belief, to be honest.
That's how we are. Yeah, I don't know why we don't have brain damage.
Pretty sure we're all just hanging on by a thread.
just there on the edge. Oh my god. But yeah, check it out. Check it out for those of you that haven't seen it. It was pretty interesting. It was I was able to keep my eyes open when I was pretty much sick on my deathbed. So
yeah, if you want to watch something that's a little less drug and sex related, I have started watching One Strange Rock. Really good. Will Smith narrates it. But they just go through details of the Earth, how it was formed. Real sciencey movie, but it's really interesting. They just talk about how everything in the Earth is connected. Yeah. From like deserts in Africa to the Amazon, and how that produces oxygen for the Earth, which is just crazy to think about. Definitely a good watch.
Yeah, I've watched one or two of those.
Yeah.
And it's not the fact that Will Smith is narrating. It's it doesn't distract you. It actually kind of fits. You know what I mean?
Distracts me completely.
Oh, it does. Oh, that's Will Smith.
He's a beautiful man.
Sexy dude. Family man. All right, cool. You got any other updates before we get into the stories?
Nope.
No? Do you want to lead us off?
Yeah, if you want.
Bruh, would you like to lead us off? I like talking like this.
Yep, I have here a story about a dog named Bud.
Bud, real fucking original. Right. There's the first F-bomb, even though I was trying to stop. Real original.
So, I'm going to tell the story now, so shut up.
Okay.
So on May 23rd, 1903, 31-year-old Horatio? Horatio? It's a worse pronunciation. Horatio. Sorry.
I can't even laugh. My lungs hurt.
I'm sick. Just leave me alone. Horatio Nelson Jackson, an automobile enthusiast and former physician, and 22-year-old. I'm not even gonna.
Horatio?
No.
What? Is it another name?
Sewell? Sewall.
Sewall? Yeah, that's a weird one.
I mean, after I screwed up Horatio, I was gonna. Sorry. So Sewall Crocker, a former bicycle racer and gasoline engine mechanic, left San Francisco in a cherry red Winton touring car for the first cross country drive to New York City. Just 4 days before, Jackson had made a $50 bet that he could accomplish this feat in less than 90 days. So here are these two. We're back in 1903, and they decide, hey, we're going to drive across country in this little tiny, like, wagon-looking car. This thing literally has wagon wheels with a little bit of rubber on it. So good luck.
I'd be puking everywhere, man.
Yeah, it's like Vomit City mixed with...
Yeah, I get motion sickness so bad.
And it wasn't like today where if you you could probably walk across the country if you really put your mind to it and just stay in a couple hotels. It's like if you get stuck, you're probably just going to die because you're in the middle of nowhere.
Somehow pitch 10.
Right. So...
Don't get a boner.
And like I was saying, just roads back then were just trash.
Yeah.
So there were fewer than 150 miles of roads nationwide that were actually paved.
Wow.
So think about that. 150 miles. That's Buffalo to Rochester.
Well, a little further. Syracuse to Buffalo.
Okay.
But yeah.
You're not getting far.
Yeah, you're not on the paved road, yeah.
Nationwide. 150. That's like absurd.
It was like the tiniest little bit of road like directly in the main cities. Like right in city center, that was paved. Yeah, and that's it.
Like one stretch.
That's pretty
wild.
Here,
you're in the town. How do you know? Because there's a paved road. Like you were like, it was a creme de la creme. You had a paved road. Look at our town. Might even have a street light if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So, obviously the roads were unkept, and there were no road numbers, no road signs, or gas stations. The automobiles were very prone to breakdowns. Previous cross-country trips were attempted but ended in failure.
Sorry, when was this again? I always miss you.
1903.
Okay. And where'd they start? Did it say? I wasn't listening, Greg. I'm just trying to keep up.
So they San Francisco.
San Francisco
to New York City.
All right, yeah, that's a pretty long drive.
It's not, yeah, in 1903 standards, very far.
Yeah.
So after about 19 days, the two men reached Idaho. It's a pretty good pace.
Idaho.
Yeah. Sorry about him. Today the trip would have taken about 13 hours. Jackson had been, and they took 19 days. Ooh. Jackson had been looking for a dog to accompany them. He finally got his chance to get one in Idaho. A man offered him to sell a young, light-colored bull terrier for $15. So that's roughly $400 in today's monies.
Is there a conversion on there? Because you've done this a couple times, and I'm starting to think you're just throwing out random numbers.
No, I did the math in my head. $15, 1903, times the conversion ratio plus inflation, times inflation.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
$400.
All right, perfect.
So
Still a steal.
So Jackson took him up on his offer and grabbed his new travel companion. Named him Bud.
Yeah. You know, actually, maybe back then, that was probably a dope name.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're like, Bud, fucking real original, you idiot. The name's dog Bud.
So Bud became a big attraction everywhere they went, especially after he was fitted with goggles to protect his eyes from the dust. So he's got, you can imagine this little bull terrier cruising along with these crazy little race car driver goggles.
Like Spec-Tech or Tech Specs?
Yeah, I'll show you a picture.
Oh, yeah. So, like, if you were growing up in the late 90s and you'd be in gym class and you had glasses and they'd throw on those, like, real freaking dumb-looking tech... What do they call them? Tech Specs? Spec-Techs?
Yeah. Those real kind of... Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It looks like that. He kind of looks like he's an aviator from the early 1900s.
You look like you're going to fly a plane in the 1900s that's made out of cardboard. This is what you'd have on your eyes.
Yes,
That's the only form of protection that you'd have, too, by the way. It's just lawless. Protected his eyes from the dust. All right. Bud soon became an enthusiast for motoring and made a perfect companion for the long journey over rough terrain. He sat in the front and became quite skilled at watching the roads and bracing himself for every hill, bump, and turn. According to Jackson, Bud was the only member of the trio who was used to profanity for the entire trip.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Apparently they swore a lot.
Yeah, so they're just a bunch of assholes?
Yeah, Bud just apparently was the only one who didn't.
He's a dog.
He's a dog, yeah.
All right.
So after many breakdowns, long waits for car parts, getting lost several times. Wait, how'd they have to wait for car? Maybe they walked back and waited for them. Getting lost several times, and an accident that tossed them out of the car. The three made it to New York City on July 26th. Approximately 4,500 miles journey had taken 63 days, 12 hours, and 30 minutes. A lot of your life.
It is. What was the title of your story again? Wasn't it the dog that went across country or something?
Bud, the first dog to cross the U.S. by car.
But they picked him up in fucking Idaho.
He didn't make it all the way. Semantics.
Well,
he had to get back somehow.
Let's see.
That's a good question.
If they went to Florida or something and hung out with those hillbillies, maybe I'd consider it.
Florida's terrifying.
Yeah, hang on. I think I've told you this joke before. My brother lives down in Tampa, and they have this running joke whenever they're out, when they're trying to pick up girls. They'll point out a girl that, the term we use is trashy. However you want to, make or whatever you want to call them. But
I'm not going to judge anyone by the outside.
Yeah, not by don't judge a book by its cover. But the running joke is this girl trashy or is she just from Florida? Because if you're born in Florida, you are a fucking crocodile person.
I always say Florida terrifies me. There's the nice outside edge. Mm-hmm. It's real touristy and real nice. You head towards the inland. It starts to get real scary. real quick.
So trashy or just from Florida?
Just from Florida. So after the cross-country trip, Bud lived a full, happy life with Jackson in Vermont. So they went back to Vermont.
So they went a little bit higher. All right, so there. You know what? I guess I'll give them 75-80% of across the country.
So eventually the car and Bud's goggles were donated to the National Museum of American History.
That's pretty cool,
So we should take a road trip. Field trip.
Field trip.
To the History Museum and go check out Bud's goggles. So if you're over there, think of us.
Yeah. Oh, Barkology Podcast. That's what I learned that from.
But yeah, no, it's pretty
much it?
Pretty much it.
All right.
Just cool. Cruising. So this is the first story I've told where the dog doesn't just die a tragic death. So happy about that.
I saw a comment on, I think I usually post some like little snippets, some clips from the podcast up on the Instagram page, and some girl posted, "Hey Greg, how about you pick a story that doesn't end with your dog dying in the most aggressive way ever?" And I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because
sorry about that. I could always skip that part out, but I have to read it.
This is history, Greg.
You know what?
Clip it out.
Now I really want to know how Bud died.
Investigate it. Check it out.
How did Bud die? Good luck.
If you just search that in Google, some weird shit would come up.
Search it.
For sure.
Search it, Mr. Google.
You want me to look up how Bud died right
now?
All right, what was the dog's actual name?
Bud.
Does he have a surname?
No.
How Bud the dog died. Oh, well.
Oh.
Okay, so
I don't want to. So
I'm going to click. So
go ahead.
The first thing that popped up when I typed in how Bud the dog died, since Google fills in the rest of it, it said how Bud the dog died in overhead bin. I'm going to not click that one, and you know what? The second option is suddenly. So there you go. Bud died suddenly, Greg. We don't need to look into it any further.
Yep.
So
leave it at that, people.
And painless. I'm sure it was painless. We don't need to fucking get any deeper into that, all right? That could have gotten even weirder. Let's not do that. All right, so moving on to a Scott story. I shall talk to myself in the third person now. What? Time frame? What do you look
No,
at?
keep going.
All right. All right. So the reason I chose this article was because the first thing that I was talking about was the Hawaiian Poi Dog. And the title of the article is Hawaiian Poi Dog, a Protector and a Delicacy.
Just an aside, Jordan's in Hawaii right now.
Yeah.
He's a Navy Reserves.
Mm-hmm.
And he's telling me the story about how he has to apply. And he's saying you have to break down your hotel, your expenses, the rental car, everything, and they have to approve you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting here, and the guy's going, "Well, why do you have to stay at this luxury hotel right on the beach? Why can't you just stay at a hotel on the beach?" So finally, after arguing with this guy that he needs to stay here, the guy approves his orders to go, and stay there. And he's telling me, he goes, "I swear to God, if this guy ruined my vacation." So here he is supposed to be going down for orders and training, and he's calling it his vacation.
So I know where his head's at already.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. So, I don't know, just
it's pretty funny.
Hawaii, sorry.
Well, let's see if Jordan is going to test his palate with some Poi Dog, because apparently it's a delicacy. So yeah, it's kind of counterintuitive because it says a protector and a delicacy. I don't know where the story's going to go. I haven't read it yet. We'll find out. All right, so the Hawaiian Poi Dog became famous in history as a protector of children and as a delicacy for the male natives of Hawaii. So you let it protect your child and then you eat it?
Sounds counterproductive.
Yeah, I mean, unless they're breeding just a ton of them, not a F ton of them.
I can just hear our listeners just never listening to us again after this story. Continue.
Right, so as times changed, the breed became extinct. And the picture that I have of this dog, it's kind of a small dog. It looks super fucking cute.
I can't see it.
It's down by her hand. It looks like a super small, cute dog, cuter than a beagle, but about the same size because beagles
it's like a
are
beagle
annoying.
with perkier ears. Beagles' ears are kind of floppy,
cool.
but they're kind of bigger.
So the dogs, along with hogs, no rhyme intended, were brought to Hawaii with the first Polynesian settlers between 300 and 800 AD. So this is a long time ago. Mm-hmm. The island did not have large land mammals, so the poi dogs were not needed for herding or hunting. So at this point, and I think you're still not on a lot of these small islands. I think Hawaii and the smaller islands of Hawaii, like Kauai and them, you're allowed to do this, but at times you're not allowed to even like. You have to take your boots off and get your boots scrubbed to make sure there's no seeds or anything in them, so you're not bringing in invasive plants or seeds and shit like that. But right now, they're just bringing in this dog, and they're like, "Hey, let's let this dog fuck a hog and see what happens."
Most of the animals even got to
Yeah.
Hawaii. A lot of them were just brought in from other places, like access deer, like hogs, like you said. Mm-hmm. I'm sure almost every animal there, because a deer is not swimming there.
Yeah, and at this point,
there's a dog.
At this time, 800 AD, they're not giving a shit what
800 AD? How did they trace that back?
I have no idea, Greg, but I'm going to have to believe that it's 100% true, everything that comes out of this article.
Everything on the internet is a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact. All right, so like I said, they didn't have any large breed animals, so these poi dogs weren't used for hunting or anything. Instead, they lived among the tribes as companions, were spiritual protectors of the children. Oh, so they're smaller, so they're not actually physically protecting the children. They're spiritually protecting the children. Got to imagine they're smoking a lot of ganja. Hitting the peace pipe. They had something.
They definitely had some sort of...
They had something. They're hallucinating on something.
Everywhere had some sort of hallucinogenic...
Especially if
mind-altering substances, we'll call them.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you're living in Hawaii back then, it's pretty small. You can go to one end to the other, and then you're like, well, now what the hell do we do? Let's smoke some plants.
That's kind of strange. How did people get there? Where did people come from?
I don't know where they I don't know where they migrated
Samoans?
from.
Am I saying that Samoans?
Samoans? Yeah, I don't know where they came from, man. Okay, so they're spiritual protectors for the children and were also a source of food for the natives. So I'm starting to think the natives are a different population from the people that have the poi dogs. Now, I thought they were all the same at first.
Again, I wasn't listening.
So I'm starting to think after that last sentence that the native people are different from the people that brought in the poi dogs. So the people that have the poi dogs...
Where did native people come from? Wait.
They were on Hawaii even before this group of settlers came in. So let me keep telling the story. We'll figure it out. All right, a puppy was often given to an infant at birth. That's kind of cool. In their accounts of the baby and the puppy being breastfed together. Do you think they were breastfeeding on the mom or on the dog? On the mom dog. You think the baby human was on the teat of the
dog?
The poi mother? Or do you think they were both on the tit of the human mom?
Or could they just be separate?
Or they could have been separate. That's just, my mind immediately goes to the weirder of the two.
Yeah, dude, I don't know where your head's at.
All right, so which they believed would give the dog more protective instincts. So I'm going to guess that it's the human mother was giving, if they think it's going to improve the dog. Okay. If a child died before the dog would be killed and buried with the child's body. That seems to be pretty traditional. A few other stories we've read, yeah. If the child outlived the dog, a necklace would be made of the dog's teeth as a good luck charm for the child. That's kind of cool. Be wearing your dog's teeth around. It's pretty badass. The Hawaiian Poi Dog got its name from poi, a common Hawaiian food made from fermented and pounded taro roots. Don't know what that is, because meat was too valuable to be used as dog food. The dogs were fed poi.
Yeah.
Okay, so poi dog. All right. The starchy diet caused a number of health problems. Caused the dogs to become fat with distended bellies, lazy, clumsy, and not very smart.
Oh, man.
How? That's why they're not protecting the children, literally. They're spiritually protecting them, because they can't do shit otherwise.
Think of you just fed your dog potatoes and then...
Yeah, okay, so these dogs were absolutely ridiculous when they tried to walk around. Okay, whatever. They were friendly and they liked to play with children, but they were slow and would run out of energy quickly. They seldomly barked and were often found waddling around with the hogs. The dogs were malnourished mainly due to the lack of protein in the diet, and is believed their heads became flat over the years because the pasty poi did not require strong jaw muscles to chew. So they're like temporalis, I think it's, or your temporalis maybe, muscle in your head. So typically the reason pit bulls they have that huge fucking head and their jaw's so strong because their temporalis muscle on the side of their head is just massive. And that's one of the main muscles for chewing. I think. I can't remember. Okay, so this dog basically had no muscles in its head.
I'm just depicting the worst.
It was just
dog
chewing
ever.
that, just like slurping down whatever sludge they were feeding it, withering away. God, it's kind of getting sad now.
Yeah, why would you tell this story?
The people were fond of their dogs, but they saw no wrongdoing making a meal out of him, like they did with their hogs. The meat of the poi dog was actually considered a delicacy and would be eaten during feasts and religious festivals.
Feast.
What did I say?
Feast.
Feasts?
Feast.
Feasts?
Feast.
What are you saying over there?
What you said.
Oh, I said feast?
Feast.
Oh, yeah, feasts.
Feasts.
Yeah, I just kind of slurred it together.
Sorry.
In religious festivals, but only the men were allowed to consume the meat. Okay.
That's sexist.
Yes, it is. But back then,
Rules did not apply.
Yeah, there were no rules. By the early 20th century, the breed became extinct as the native religion was abandoned and eating dog meat was looked down on from missionaries and other Westerners. So as more people started to settle there, they were like, "What the fuck are you doing eating these dogs? Like these are man's best friend." But
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're man's best friend yet.
Sounded like it.
The Hawaiian Poi Dogs began to breed with dogs of European settlers and were gradually displaced by crossbreeds. Okay. They're like, hey, let's crossbreed the fucking laziness out of these dogs and just get like the size or the way it looks. We want none of the temperament or actual like, they're just trying to get rid of whatever it was like. In the 1960s, a dog that closely resembled the Poi Dog created enough interest to try and revive the breed by the Honolulu Zoo. After 12 years, the attempt was deemed a failure and the program was discontinued. And the Poi Dog was forever forgotten. And fuck them because they sucked. They literally,
Great endings.
You know what? I was gonna try to salvage this story and be like, hey, this dog was kind of cool, like we usually do, but this dog sucked. You know, it's definitely because of its owners and the people feeding him like shit, treating him like shit. But this dog was lazy. Probably didn't have a real, they didn't have a brain. Let's be honest. But then when they died, they just eat them. Like, this shit's delicious. So, you know what? Whatever. Poi Dog, screw you guys.
So they don't exist anymore?
No, in the 1960s, the Honolulu Zoo tried to, like, mix breed them with a similar looking dog, and it didn't take. And they're like, fuck it. We're not even going to try.
Just gave up?
Yeah, so that dog's just not real anymore.
Not even real anymore.
The Poi Dog. Well, they named it the Poi Dog because they used to just eat poi.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd feed it poi.
It's like a traditional Hawaiian dish.
You know what? They were trying to turn it into a fucking dish. They knew what they were doing. God damn it.
That's terrible. It's a terrible story.
Oh my god. Alright, so the Poi Dogs of Hawaii. Forget about them, alright? They go. Oh, man.
Bye.
Alright, so those are the stories for the week. Did we come up with a name for this category yet?
Not yet.
Tales?
No,
Yeah, it's too terrible. It sounded okay last time, but it's not good enough. Tales. We need some suggestions. Email us at barkologypodcast@gmail.com with any suggestions, whether it's for the name of certain topics or if you guys just want to reach out and say, hey, you guys are doing shitty or you're doing great. We love the podcast. We hate the podcast. Any input is good.
Ooh, so I recently connected with one of my good friends who moved out to the UK. Don't really know exactly where he is.
Who dat?
Tim. Group across the street from him. Tim Klein.
Was he at our buddy John's bachelor party?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
He was not there. So he's actually got one of the cooler jobs I've ever heard of. So he does like internal auditing.
Okay.
But the company that he works for just basically flew him overseas to the UK, and he's been just about everywhere. So when I say I don't know where he is, I literally don't know where he is because I've caught him in like Dubai, Germany, like you name it.
He's just
any country out there, he's
around,
at, bouncing around. So I just informed him that we started the podcast. He started listening, and he sent me a story about a pug in Germany. So apparently the owner's parents were in debt. So the German government or townspeople, I'm not really sure which one, decided that, well, if you can't pay your debt, we're just going to take your dog, your pug, and sell it on eBay. And everyone in Germany was just like, sounds like a pretty fair trade. Like, no. Like, what do you mean? You can't just sell a dog on eBay? Like,
That's like old school. Hey, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna sell it as cattle. You know, it's like, hey, you know, we're doing like we're bargaining in cattle. He's like, give me the fucking dog.
Yep.
I'm selling it on eBay. It'll go way quicker.
Like
reaching a larger population
like
of
why
buyers.
the medium of eBay?
Yeah.
They just skip the whole auction process. Like
nah, just straight to eBay.
Just straight to eBay. Like we're just gonna sell your estate on eBay.
I think our friend Ellie, her company was one of our sponsors a few weeks ago. One of the dogs she got, and she still has, Harry. You know Harry. I'm pretty sure she bought him on eBay. We'll have to ask her.
Lot of sense.
I'm gonna take Ellie's expressing interest in being our first guest as well on the podcast. So I think next week what we're gonna try to do is do our first guest on the podcast, and it would have been one of our previous sponsors, but she's a dog owner, has an awesome local business. But we'll have to ask her. I'm pretty sure she bought her dog on eBay.
Sure.
We'll have to figure out the logistics
this
of
dog
that.
Has tried to bite me
More
times than I can count. He's just a skittish little guy, a little frightened guy.
He's way better now. He's a lover now.
Is he?
Yeah. I think when you get shipped in a box from eBay, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's how it
probably
works.
takes a little bit to get that out of you.
He's real nice now.
Is he? Well, that's good.
But yeah,
but he just spots me from a mile away and just starts growling at me. I'm like, oh hey, how's it going? But
stop coming off so weak. But yeah, we're gonna start having some guests on over the next few weeks, which will be fun because we're gonna try to see how that goes. Having a third mic in. I don't know how we're gonna record it. I mean, I have a couple cameras we can use. Same exact way. We can also do that. But before we wrap this up, Greg, I had a couple other things that I wanted to show. One of which you guys as the audience are not going to be able to see, but I saw this video on YouTube the other day, and it just kind of caught my interest, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? But the title of the video is the world record mile with dog. So what do you think immediately when I say that?
I'm thinking you're carrying a dog and you have to run a mile.
Okay, that'd be pretty tough. Well, depending on the size of the dog.
Right. I mean, I'd go with like a pug, something real tiny.
Yeah, a real tiny thing.
Terrier, just like throw that guy on your shoulder and take off.
Yeah. Okay, so this video, and I watched it once. We were supposed to do this last week. I forgot. This dog is on a leash, and this guy's just running a mile. So it's the fastest mile run with the dog on leash.
This is it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it, and we can just kind of comment on it as we go. So the dog actually looks pretty small. If I were gonna,
fast little guy though. They're on a sprint. People.
Oh,
this guy's going.
Yeah,
this is no joke.
Yeah, he's not pacing himself at all. So this dog though, oh my god, you can hear the wind. They're fucking flying.
There you go.
But yeah, the dog kind of looked like a mix between like a little whippet. You know those whippet dogs? What?
First off, they're doing this in a park on like a curved road. Probably the worst place to run a timed mile.
Yes, but they're passing people on bikes, so get the hell out of the way. But the dog looks kind of like a whippet, a little bit stockier whippet, like those miniature greyhounds. They're like miniature greyhounds.
Yeah,
they're one of the
okay.
fastest dogs.
Like a greyhound. But small.
But the dog's kind of cool. It's running full speed, definitely giving the guy some assistance running. But the dog kind of peeks back every once in a while. It's like, hey, bro, you gonna keep up or what, motherfucker?
I don't get it. Is this guy blind?
What? You think this is a seeing eye dog, and they're just running as fast as possible?
Why is this like cool? I don't get it.
Because technically if you're running under a 4-minute mile, that's legit as hell. But I think this guy is actually being assisted by the dog, so he's running a faster mile with the dog.
Oh, the dog's
pulling him.
It's hooked to his waist.
Yep, the leash is hooked to his waist, so it's basically just pulling him along. So he's running a faster mile with the dog than he has ever done without the dog. Does that make sense?
Oh, I guess.
So yeah, they're still booking it. It looks like
This looks like the worst day to run a mile too.
Yeah, it looks
cold.
Like it's
so cold.
Cold. Yeah, your lungs.
He's got
are
a hat on, so.
Yeah, your lungs are just.
I'm thinking
burning.
If he did this on some legit flat ground, not in some turny park, on a decent weather day, can't be too hot, can't be too cold.
65 and overcast.
I'm just calling straight up, right? This is just poor preparation. It's just poor planning. The dog just tried to run off track. Oh my
Jesus.
God!
That almost just fucked everything up. The dog must have saw a squirrel or something, tried to like pull him off the scent, but they're back on track.
Had to take a pee.
He might have had to take a piss. He's like, no, keep running. but they're cruising. Right now they're at 2 minutes and 20 seconds, which means they're
Fast forward this.
booking it. All right, I'll fast forward. Let's go to the end. The guy recording's on a bike as well, and he seems to be having a... Oh, all right. We just skipped that. He's turning it up. This is the last kick. This is the last kick. Dude, the dog, I think the dog could probably run down just about any other animal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this dog looks like it could just... like squirrel, rabbits. What else would dogs
Now, do you think they trained for this?
Either the dog's very well trained or the dog has absolutely...
Just the instinct to run.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, finish.
You didn't even run through it.
3:59. Oh my god.
Pretty fast.
Pretty fast. When's the last time you ran a 3:59 mile?
The other day.
The other day. Oh my god. All right, that was kind of interesting though. So check that out. The world record mile with the dog. What's up?
What's the world record for just a human running a mile?
Less than that. 3:45 or something. I don't know. I can look it up.
Yeah, look it up and stop whatever's going.
But 3:59. I mean, that guy clearly is not, running that fast without the dog.
Are you sure?
Yes. The dogs, I think the point of the video is to show that they can do faster. 3:43 for a man, or
Oh, shit.
4:12 for a woman. I'm sure that guy's like an elite runner,
So wow.
but the dog gave him a little bit of assistance, bro. That's all I'm saying.
That's pretty fast then.
He's fast as shit.
The dog ran faster than him.
Yeah, the dog, hands down, could have crushed that. The dog could have ran like a 3-minute mile, I'm sure.
Wow. I'm impressed.
I'm impressed. So also, one other thing we're working on is getting some phone calls to come in, which would be interesting. I don't think we're going to take any live.
Have you figured out how to...
We're not going to give out our personal phone numbers, that's for sure.
Well, duh.
But we're going to figure out how to do that so we can take some calls,
So
messages.
315.
Don't do that. We'll do that, and we'll see if we can, incorporate some sort of questioning via, voicemail or something like that, which will be fun. Also, we do have some apparel coming out. I mentioned it last episode, but we have a buddy that runs some websites. He's going to hook us up, so we'll have some T-shirts. I know Greg's a huge fan of the fanny packs, so he's going to want to definitely get some fanny packs out.
It's a deal breaker.
What we're going to try to do is have the most fair prices ever, so we're not really going to make any money on it, but it's going to be cheaper than pretty much anything else you guys get at high quality. I think that's what we're going to try to do. We'll see. But yeah, we'll definitely let you know. We'll let you know when that comes about. We're working on it tomorrow. What's up?
We should have people email us fun stories to tell.
Some true fun stories?
Yeah, or anything.
Yeah, let's do that. You guys, we have received some emails, but if you do have a interesting story about your dog or just in general that is hilarious and we can share, email us. We won't, out you and give them your email address so people can...
We will give you your actual address.
Yeah, your home address. But send us some stuff and we'll talk about it.
What's our email again?
barkologypodcast@gmail.com.
Pretty easy, people. Don't forget.
Pretty straightforward. Do you have anything else to talk about, Greg? We talked about Hawaiian Poi Dogs who, apparently are delicious. I wish I could have tried them.
What?
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, keep it short and sweet. We're both sick, so we're going to heal up. We'll have higher energy next time.
Get it going, keep it going, baby.
Get it going, keep it going, baby. But yeah, reach out. Follow us on Twitter at BarkologyPod, Instagram and Facebook at Barkology Podcast, Spotify, Podbean, Barkology Podcast on Podbean at the barkology.podbean.com. You can search us on YouTube as well if you want to see what we look like. iTunes is coming soon. There was a fucking issue, man. Goddamn iTunes.
I read that it could take anywhere from 24 hours to 4 weeks.
Yeah, no.
Ours was the worst
simple.
window ever.
Ours was simple. They kept saying that our RRS link wasn't working, which is just like the link that you see. Yeah, I know what it is. Wasn't working properly, but then they're like, oh, wait a minute, your metadata, so basically like our description of the episode, I would say like Barkology Podcast episode 1. Mm-hmm. You can't have that in there because they do that for you.
They do that.
Yeah, so I just got to send that in a little bit differently, but we'll be up on iTunes soon. And then wherever else you guys want to listen to us, let us know. But that's about it. So we out of here, Greg. Wrap us up.
Wag more, bark less, baby.
Yeah.